Baseball's dead.
Rest in peace.
This is a Friday episode. Dallas had a day game yesterday. There's a couple different places that we could start, but I feel like we kind of have to start with Marcell Ozuna.
What happened to him?
Oh, man. Wow. Joe, you know what? I'm glad you asked.
Damn.
He hasn't been on lineup for like a week.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
I mean,
what the fuck are...
Put it this way.
Has he been released yet?
Yes.
No.
Released from the team. I thought you said from prison.
From jail. Yeah.
Yeah, he's out of jail.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't think he's... Yeah.
The thing on top of this too is that he's hitting like shit this year, and I'm not making excuses for the guy, but does it surprise you that after getting arrested for domestic violence, getting handed a suspension, and then hitting like shit when you come back, that he's found himself at the bottom of a bottle after all this life experience?
Looking to numb the pain. I'll say this. Before we get into, throwing jabs and shit, on a serious note, on a real tip, you brought up the domestic violence thing. We've all seen the video, him and his wife fucking toe to toe. Let's not forget that there was a little bit of a mismatch there. One, because he's a man. Two, because he's a fucking professional athlete. Three, because he had a cast on. I don't know that I need to keep checking boxes here, but there's a lot of reasons why he was in the fucking wrong there. Is alcohol a part of that? And if so, understanding that alcohol is a disease and individuals who suffer from that disease need help. They need intervention. Whether you think that they can handle shit or not, they do. And if that is the root of the issue, then first and foremost, as a human being, you would hope that the individual gets help so that the quality of life beyond whatever they're doing right now, or beyond however they're living right now, would be better. That aside, why the fuck is he still on your baseball team?
Because if they suspend him, then they don't have to pay him. Probably. I guess
they don't pay him while he's suspended, but they're on the hook for $44 million or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's got 2 more years left.
He's got 3.
Yeah. 3.
Wait, hold on. Time out. There's an echo. Who's echoing? We're all wearing headphones.
It's got to be Joey.
Probably me. Let me just move this away. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let me turn down this. It should be no.
Do you have sound coming out of your laptop?
It's coming out of my headphones because the headphones are so shit.
They're
and my
just like
mic
bro,
is loud.
so they
get
just leak
new
out.
fucking headphones.
Wow.
How?
I just
Amazon?
bought new headphones. They were $300. Oh, they don't work. One of the earbuds doesn't work. Only one of the earbuds.
Take it back.
I don't know how to do it.
Jesus Christ.
Jared, it's almost like you're dealing with a version of you. I love it.
You're the fucking technical difficulties guy. I'm ready to go every episode. I never have issues.
Maybe it's one of my 4 mics I have right in front of me right now. It could be.
You know what? We're going to keep this section in the podcast here because we just found out that it's been Jake, who's been tying my ball sack every time.
This goes
we
back
get on
to
this
fucking starting 9. Every goddamn episode. Jared, I can't figure out Jesse. I can't figure it out. My microphone's not working. Can you hear me on this microphone? Oh, turn the gain down, gain up, gain down. Dallas talking. Can you hear Dallas? No? Okay. Every fucking episode. Jake, when I tell you that I have not started an episode without some sort of technical difficulty between now that's on me. I added Joey. That was me. That's my fault.
You got DraftKings coming over to your house, setting up everything, a whole fucking studio. You got like 6 mics that they pay for. I got all
last
this
week.
Shit. I got all this shit that send me
this
microphone.
Headphones. I use this microphone for 6 goddamn years. It's like fucking dented. It's probably like $20. It probably came from like fucking KB Toys, and I used that for 6 years before I got this expensive mic.
Well, there was never once an echo. Shit happens.
No. Actually, well, yeah, when I use the earbuds and you have to like turn it down so it doesn't go into the mic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're on the
I'm
same
not
page.
letting you change the subject. You employ a very bad person on your baseball team, Joey.
And that's on me. And
Answer for it.
I take responsibility. And we just didn't check all the boxes going in. He was really, really. He does cool stuff in the dugout. Seems nice.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. He has a big smile. Seems like a good guy.
How long is he going to be suspended for?
I don't know.
Is there precedent for that? I feel like.
Yeah, I saw something that like MLB is the only league without like a DUI policy.
Yeah.
Or
Do
not
you remember
policy,
Miguel
but-
Cabrera getting suspended for his DUI?
No. I'm not saying that he did not. I don't remember
Me
the
neither.
repercussions.
Yeah, I don't think that there was disciplinary action. It was just like, damn, DUI.
Yeah, is this a thing where it's only like legal action that gets taken and that's the punishment?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess like there's what would be the what conduct act would they enact on you if you got a DUI? Like I'm trying to who else has gotten a DUI? Like Tony La Russa?
You got a DUI.
I mean, I
got
don't know
hired
if this
immediately.
is that during the season?
Tony La Russa, I think, got the DUI like during spring training. He's just got hired.
Well,
and
that's
they were like,
what I'm saying. It's different. It's not the season, and it's a little
yeah,
different.
but you
'cause
can
he is
still
a-
hand out a suspension that's effective once the season starts.
Sure, I suppose.
I don't think I off the top of my head, I cannot think of a single time that someone was suspended Major League Baseball games for getting a DUI.
Well, it might make a difference because Marcel has already been suspended and he's kind of in bad standing, so they might tack that on.
Yeah, this is like breaking MLB probation, essentially.
Well,
Yeah.
it would be the opportunity if there's not a protocol set. I mean, maybe to throw one in there, just like, look, we got to do something. This dude, this is the second time now he's had legal run-ins. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is a player union thing too, where it's where it's a matter of, hey, legal punishment is the precedent from there. You know, who are you to implement a substance abuse protocol per your organization? I mean, I feel like that's something that you could do. You know, I mean, Yankees won't let you grow a goddamn goatee, for Christ's sake. I feel like they might be, someone might be able to tell you what you can and can't do, and if you get popped for doing that, well, here on this club, it's a fucking done deal. It's a wrap. But that's what the union is for, is so teams, don't get to just operate in that space freely like that. There's rules. So it's interesting if there hasn't been a protocol set. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Can we look that up? Like, folks to, because I hate to throw around names and not have any like background, like what happened.
Throw our own names, Dallas.
No, I mean, well, like we're like you've said, Miguel Cabrera, Tony La Russa, like, I mean, we know that those things happened, but I don't know the end result. I don't know what the actual ramifications,
That's one of my it's not funny, but it is funny. When Miguel Cabrera got pulled over for the DUI and he just said, "Just fucking kill me" to the cops. Did you see
what
that?
he said?
Yeah, Miguel.
Well, I mean, this was God, how long ago? That's fucking.
This was like 2011.
Yeah, it's over fucking 10 years ago, over a decade ago.
It was 2011. It was spring training of 2011. Yeah. Where is it? I'll find it. But he said some wild out of pocket shit when he got his DUI.
Well, what did Johnny Damon say? The video of Johnny Damon is really fucking funny.
Yeah, he was out of it.
Well, he wasn't playing when that happened, right? I mean, obviously, it's not okay that it happened, but I'm saying he wasn't playing when that happened.
No.
Johnny Damon? No.
Right.
No.
That was recent, wasn't it? Yeah. At any rate, what the fuck is Marcell Ozuna still doing? And this is what's crazy is, like, the Cardinals, for as like, I don't know that there's really another one, because I give them a lot of credit for the class that the organization does carry, like throughout the entire organization, minor leagues included, fan bases included, but it's almost like I don't know.
Here it is.
You call yourselves the best fan in baseball. You're an organization that highly touts yourself as a class-first organization. And I understand you can't control certain individuals, but you do control the individuals you employ. At what point does competition intersect with the message you're trying to send to your younger kids in the organization? Like, you got to set some, I don't know.
According to released documents, Miguel Cabrera told the sheriff deputy to fucking shoot me, kill me, after being instructed to drop to his knees.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to stick up for Miggy here and say that's probably I'm feeling bulletproof. I had a good round in the cage earlier today. Mm-hmm. And from there,
what year was his MVP?
I get on my knees for God, and that's it.
Right. And then no one else. Yeah. That was
the guy was heavily intoxicated. Fucking come on, man.
He had he went on to win a batting title that year, his first. And then imagine if the police obliged, because he won back-to-back MVPs the year after, 12 and 13.
I'll say this too, like, you gotta like Miggy, that was a moment, because has there been any trouble since for Miguel Cabrera since that time?
No.
So Miguel Cabrera is almost, I don't want to say the poster child, but is a phenomenal example of, look, you can learn from your mistakes. Like, people make mistakes. Shit like this happens. And I understand, people who have been severely impacted by those, by drunk driving. I have too. And I just, there's a level of compassion you try to have and a level of understanding you try to have. And Miggy, as we're talking about ball players who do dumb shit and then kind of, I don't know, do they learn? I think Miggy would be a good example to show you that he's definitely changed from that night, from what that kid was doing, to the man he's become.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Marcell Ozuna, bad guy. Bad guy, poor decision maker. We can all agree. Poor decision making.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doesn't always have his thinking cap on. And I see some Braves fans being like, well, now we know where the roster spot's going to come from when Ozzy Albies comes back. I don't think it's that easy, especially in an organization like the Braves, who like that Marcell Ozuna contract was not record-breaking by any means in most other organizations, but to them, it was kind of a big deal. Like, they were like, man, we really had to, kind of go outside our organizational philosophies and beliefs to make this happen, because we really wanted him back so badly. And now it is turning out to be maybe one of the worst contracts in the sport.
Yeah, and take everything that I just said about the St. Louis Cardinals and apply that to the Atlanta Braves. Because that's what I meant. I didn't mean the Cardinals. I meant the Braves.
Cardinal fans were mad at me. Mets fans were mad at me. I'm pissing off a lot of fan bases. So, and it's all with love for the Atlanta Braves, by the way. Like, Cardinal fans got mad at me because Austin Riley got a knock off of Jacob DeGrom and drove in a run. And I said, "You're National League MVP, Austin Riley." Cardinal fans fucking swarmed to defend Paul Goldschmidt, who
absolutely
yes. If the season ended today, Paul Goldschmidt is your National League MVP.
When the season ends, Paul Goldschmidt will be your National League
Probably.
MVP.
I don't think they should be allowed to win in the Central. Shouldn't really count.
Well, why?
I don't know if that's controversial to say, but it's just kind of just a bad division.
Nolan's going to take votes away from Goldie. You afraid of that, Dallas?
Nope. Not afraid of that.
You're not afraid of that?
Not afraid of that. Not afraid of that, because I feel like, I feel like enough Cardinal fans will acknowledge and will probably say to themselves, you know what? We know who the real MVP here is this season, and we appreciate what Nolan's doing, but we feel like it's been Goldie from the first game on. And we know that if we're divided here, we could see both of our guys miss out on this. So I feel like we need to, at the end of the day, get our minds right and put all of our eggs in the basket we feel is going to give us the best chance to bring home an MVP to this glorious organization that is the St. Louis Cardinals. And that is why I'm not too worried about it.
So they're only gonna win because of collusion.
It's not collusion.
That used to happen all the time. Manny and Ortiz would take votes away from each other. And then A-Rod would win the MVP because he was on a team full of bums. Same's going to happen with Goldie and Nolan here. They're going to take votes away from each other, and then boom, Austin Riley, National League MVP. Did I tell you who I met last weekend, Dallas?
No, you didn't. But you know what? I just thought about something because
Who?
everything I just said about Marcell Ozuna and the St. Louis Cardinals, I had him on the Cardinal. Obviously, he's with the Braves. But now that I'm thinking about the Atlanta Braves, and look, this has a lot to do with player representation. But the Atlanta Braves have shown that they will just kind of take things as they go, right? They'll play ball, meaning if they can get a young guy for a lot of money, they're not too worried about looking the other way. They're not too worried about the opinions that are going to come. Oh, you guys are stealing from these kids, locking these kids. These are extremely team friendly. Like the Atlanta Braves are like, yo, fuck it. We will win. We don't care how we're going to win. We'll cash it out. Is that why they're okay with Marcell Ozuna?
I wouldn't say they're okay with it. I mean, it's been 4 hours since we found out. Like, he could get released. Like, I mean, I would say it's a pretty good chance. I
don't know. There's too many years, too much money. There's too many years, too much money.
Michael Harris moves comes in though, right? Like, hey, man, like we've got guys. Like, let's just get rid of this. This is just going to be a distraction for us. Like, we're trying to celebrate like the idea that we have young core, like a phenomenal young core for a long time. This is just going to become a distraction. Why would you not? That's where
he hasn't even played. He hasn't even been playing ever since Vaughn Grisham got up and Robbie Grossman's been here. Like he hasn't been getting. I don't think he's played all week.
Yeah, like right now, what are the Braves? 3 out, 4 out, somewhere in there.
3.5.
3.5.
There you go. They've got to get rid of the distraction. They got to get rid of the distraction.
You think that they're gonna fucking release him with that many years remaining?
No, would you say there's 3 years left?
Yeah.
They're going to figure out you got to find a trade partner, right? Ultimately, that's the best.
Who the
business
fuck
decision.
is going to be like, yeah, give me this shitty player that beats his wife and gets DUIs?
So then that's where we arrive.
The Yankees, they love guys like that. They're on the hook for $18 million next year, $18 million the year after that, and then a $16 million club option in 2025. So it's the rest of this year and then 2 more, and then you'd have a $1 million buyout.
So then let me ask you this. Have we seen the last of Marcell Ozuna in Major League Baseball?
No. Because like I said, if they were to outright...
So the Braves just wear this? Like that's the better move?
No.
That's the better move? You don't have anybody else picking this dude up, but the Braves wearing him is a better move? Like if there's nowhere else he could go and you're done with him here, then how is he not done? You've got 29 other teams telling Marcell Ozuna to fuck off.
No, because they could still bring him. That's what I just said, though. Yeah, but if they don't release him, the Braves are like, well, if you're here, we're paying you. If you're not here, we're paying you. So we might as well see what an off season of. They're not gonna release this guy. Like they're
like reformation. Like you want him. Like is this like are they going to do the Marcell Ozuna reclamation tour? Like let him try to put himself together. That's the question. See?
Yeah,
that's the question.
From a baseball standpoint, if
honestly,
you're
I don't know what the Braves have going on in their minor league system, and I don't know what kind of culture they're looking to build, and I don't know what kind of message they're looking to send. But I can tell you right now,
but isn't he popular in the clubhouse there still, even though he's done all this shit?
If I had kids that are viable options, if I had kids that I think are viable options that are ready, and I'm trying to build a culture here, I just signed up a core. I've got a nice core. I don't need shit like this. I do not. I'm sorry. I don't. Because for me, that starts to represent a bad apple that could potentially start to sour the bunch.
But is he a bad apple in the clubhouse, though?
I don't know that.
He seems to be pretty popular amongst, the Acuñas, the Albies of the world over there.
I don't care who he's popular amongst. I know what kind of attention he's bringing to our clubhouse. I know what kind of attention he's bringing to our organization. And that's where, again, I say the Braves, I don't know, like, what do they care about? How much work is being done on the human side of things like this? And I always use the Texas Rangers and the Josh Hamilton situation as an example. The Texas Rangers really gave a shit about whether you choose to believe it was the human being in Josh Hamilton or it was the investment they made in Josh Hamilton. Either way, they did what they thought was their due diligence to make sure that this dude was on the right path while he was wearing their uniform, right? And human beings are going to human being, And eventually Josh Hamilton got into a place where the diligence wasn't being done to the level it was in prior places. And we know how that's turned out. So what are the Braves going to do here? That's the perspective we're looking for. 29 other teams are going to say no. Is he enough for you to say yes to? Because we know how valuable roster spots are. Those are really valuable.
And you have Ozzy Albies coming back. So like you do need a roster spot.
You're going to need a roster spot. And now it's a question. This is the past. Are we going to stick by this player, invest in the human being? And is that going to be our messaging? Because we don't want to just throw away $36 million and then run the risk of one of these 29 other teams who are like, no chance, we don't need him. Did you say prorated? Maybe we will in 2023 just because maybe we think Marcell Ozuna is a different man. You're saying the Braves would like to be the ones who benefit from Marcell Ozuna being a different man and then getting back to performing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think that, if he's there, they're paying him. If he's not there, they're paying him. So it's worth it from a baseball standpoint to at least go into next year and see what that looks like. I mean, look at what the Red Sox did with Hanley in 2018. It was like, all right, we're paying this guy and we're going to try out the first base DH thing. And they cut his ass in like April. They were like, we're going to eat this. Like, it's not a fit, whatever. We'll swallow it.
And how much did they eat?
17-ish, maybe.
So this is a $36 million paycheck that you're going to write to either the culture of the club or to Marcell Ozuna.
It's going to be like
we know that
third most scenarios, money ever eaten by a team, I think.
Right. We know that in both scenarios, the money goes to Marcell Ozuna. It's what I'm saying though is, are you writing that check and keeping him around? Or are you writing that check and charging it to the game? Like, this is shit that happens, but what we've got going on in the future here is far more important than for us to, because dude, what if this happens? Like I said, they're 3.5 out. And what if Marcell Ozuna starts to hit a hot streak?
That's what I'm saying.
And then something like this happens. And then he's done for the postseason.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, fuck, he just like, man, when did the Braves, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, or fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, George Bush fucked that one up too. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. Brilliant minds.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Marcell. Yeah, this we do still have to talk about Braves Mets. If you're a Mets fan, I got something to say to you guys. But first, college football is back. Yes. It's time to enjoy the tradition, the fun, and the great offers from the DraftKings Sportsbook. To celebrate the best time of the year, right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any team and get $200 in free bets instantly, win or lose. If that's not enough action, you can also place a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. Just combine multiple bets like which team will win, which team will score first, and a lot more. Dallas, if you weren't an alumni at Texas Tech, who's like a team that you would be invested in watching this year?
Ooh, who's a team that I would be? I mean, Jared, is TCU on your radar?
The Frogs.
Mm-hmm. Just because, they're a team we like to circle on our schedule as a Texas Tech alum, whether it's football, baseball, basketball.
Yeah.
We're just a little school out in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to make some noise, kick some dust. That's all we are.
I got some wholesome Christian girls at that school.
Red Raiders, baby. Believe it. Come on.
Believe it. So you can throw a little parlay together with TCU. It'd be nice. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Jared Bet just $5 on college football and get $200 in free bets instantly. That is promo code Jared only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 plus in most eligible states, but varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for terms and resources. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789. In New York, call 877-467-369. One per new customer. Minimum $5 deposit and wager $200 issued at $25 free bets. So the Braves got their revenge on the Mets in this series. And I had a stat that I saw that I wanted to give a shout out to in terms of the Braves and their success against Jacob DeGrom. It makes the Atlanta Braves took 3 out of 4 from the Mets at home. This coming after the Mets took 4 out of 5 against the Braves at home. So they've just been
bringing up old shit.
They've just been beating the bag out of each other at their respective ballparks. But this stat I found very interesting, especially if these two teams meet in October. Since 2021, Jacob DeGrom has an 0.89 ERA when he doesn't face the Braves. When he pitches against the Braves, he has a 3.08 ERA. Atlanta is responsible for 8 of DeGrom's 17 earned runs over the past 2 seasons.
Imagine giving up 2 earned runs over the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to know a crazy Jacob DeGrom stat?
What's
He's
that?
allowed 1 run or fewer in 49% of his career starts. 1 run.
Career.
One. So I get it. A little under half. That's half. Half your fucking starts that you've ever made. That's ridiculous, dude. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that
You
shit.
got on a whole
I
nother level.
can't even wrap my fucking head around that.
It's insane.
Un run.
Un.
1. That's
Jacob
how many
DeGrom.
starts has he made? Just tell me how many starts.
200.
In his career?
I think it's like he just hit 200, I think.
200 career starts. So basically, in 100 of those, 99 of those, he's given up un run.
202 career starts for Jacob DeGrom.
That is
It's crazy.
fucking stupid.
He's really good. He's really good. And I hope that continues into the postseason. One Mets fan told me that I'm not allowed to step foot at Citi Field ever again.
Oh, why?
Because
What
I
happened?
tweeted what was it? Who drove in the go ahead run?
It was Michael Harris.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So Michael Harris drives in Grissom. And it's 3-2 Braves. And all I tweeted was that clip. And the caption was, "It feels like a playoff atmosphere in Atlanta." And Mets fans had a mental breakdown. They're like, "Fuck you, you sucking so much Braves dick, dude. Fucking never come back to Citi Field ever again." I was like, all I said was that there's a playoff atmosphere in Atlanta. I did not say
7-line army is going to fucking castrate you, Jared.
You know,
They
Jared,
went
it wouldn't hurt to
nuts.
have a little compassion. Right? They're going through a lot right now. They're
I did my best because I know like we have plans to do a watch party in Atlanta. We're probably going to do one in New York for the Mets. I know we're going to be back doing stuff with the Mets. So for that series, I was like, all right, I am going to play it right down the middle. When the Mets do something good, I'm going to tweet it. When the Braves do something good, I'm going to tweet it. And the Braves knock in the go-ahead run. And it's not even a pro Braves tweet. it was just like, damn, this atmosphere is fucking sick. And then Mets fans are like, you fucking piece of shit. Don't ever come back to Citi Field. Yeah, they were very much on edge.
If you'd have tweeted that out with a nice, like maybe it was a pitching highlight, maybe it was a strikeout for the New York Mets instead of somebody.
I tweeted out the fucking Mark Canha homer.
But you didn't talk about the playoff atmosphere during that tweet. So you're saying
because it was in Atlanta. How can you make the Braves crowd about the Mets?
I mean, you could just, I don't know, maybe, this is what the Mets do. The Mets traveling fans, it feels like right now the Met fans have taken over Atlanta. You could have said something like that, but you chose not to.
Yeah, because they didn't. I didn't see any Mets fans.
That's what the Mets are pointing out. That's why they're not happy with you.
Yeah, they have a good argument.
That's fine. They can be mad all they want. I mean, Atlanta loves me, and I can't wait to do a watch party in Atlanta. It's going to be like coming home. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to be playing P. Diddy the whole flight.
Yeah.
I'll be there, a blooper. Yeah. Fucking, you kidding me? Braves country? Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. That's going to be very exciting. Anyways, Joey, do you feel any different? Like, because you basically crowned the Mets and said NL East champs, wild card or bust. Do you feel differently now? 3.5 out?
No, I mean, I still think the Mets will win the division, honestly.
You do?
Just because of the schedule they got towards the end. I don't think the Braves have to win the division to fucking...
Who's got the lighter schedule headed down the stretch here?
The Mets. The Mets have a really easy stretch in September. It's like Pittsburgh, Miami, Nationals. I think they play Pittsburgh twice, all in a row.
Hey, the Braves, I mean, the Pirates are pretty good.
Pirates are pretty good, but it'll be Vogelbach's revenge game, so that's going to be must-watch TV right there.
From here, the Mets play 4 against the Phillies, and then, this is what I wanted to hit on. Monday and Tuesday, the Mets go to Yankee Stadium, where for this 2-game set, they have lined up Max Scherzer and Jacob DeGrom in New York.
Well, they said the same thing against the Braves, and the Braves fucking scored 7 runs off them.
Damn.
Yeah, like the Yankees. Jared, you know how that's going to work. All the Yankees are going to need to do, they beat one of those dudes, and they're going to feel like they're
World Series champs.
They're right back to being the invincible train that they were.
Dude, they can't beat anyone right now. Did you see the stat that I just tweeted out?
No.
Since the trade deadline, Jordan Montgomery is 3-0 for the Cardinals with like a half a run ERA. It's like 0.54. The Yankees have the worst record in Major League Baseball. They're 3-12. So Jordan Montgomery, since being traded to the Cardinals for nothing, for a dead body, has as many wins as the New York Yankees since the trade deadline. That's bad. That's not that optically, Dallas. That doesn't look good.
You didn't even have to bring up Gallo, and it still looks bad.
No,
it looks real bad, dude.
Yeah, Joey Gallo's enjoying life outside of the Big Apple. He's like that worm that just burrows in, gets what he needs, and works his way out.
Joey Gallo has a 949 OPS with the Dodgers in 10 games.
Fuck the Dodgers, bro. Fuck them. Did you see? They came out with like mid-season fucking farm system rankings, and the Dodgers are second best farm system right now.
That's insane.
Fuck.
That's
I don't know how they do it. And by the way, you're not off the hook either, Joey. Fucking the Dodgers, it's insane how they're just like, hey, we have a top 5 farm system every year, no matter what. Even if we pick fucking 32nd in the first round every year, we still have the best farm system. The fact that the Braves can just voodoo magic their way into these contract extensions is bananas. Like Michael Harris, hey, how's 8 years, $72 million? And people, I thought that this narrative died a long time ago when, you're like, sad for you. Like you're only making $5 million instead of $20 million. It's like, yeah. Like that's you. it's economics. Like you should be making based on what your ability is. And if you forecast that out, you should be making way more than fucking $72 million. Like, oh yeah, we feel so bad for him for only making $72 million. If he played that out, let's say he has the same exact production that he has right now, and you extrapolate that over 8 years, he's probably like pissing away like, I don't know, $150 million, an extra $150 million, something like that.
I guess
Jared,
he would have been paid. He's going to get paid league minimum in the next 2 years, rookie deal, whatever it is.
Sure.
So he's getting a bump up. He's getting paid more.
I also, you got to think that these teams, when they make these deals and they sign these guys to these contracts, it's not about whether. I don't think that they are always banking on this guy staying with them, and I think that the money, to Joey's point now, what he's going to be the next 2 years is going to be league minimum before the money kicks in, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that a done deal? Is that
I don't know. I don't know if the next 2 years they're going to pay him what his contract says. But I'm saying if they didn't sign him, he would have been 2 more years before. He's played like 10 games.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It's smart. That's why it's smart for him to take it.
Well, it's smart for the Braves to approach him this early.
It speaks to the economics in the game. It speaks to the economics for the Atlanta Braves as well. So when you think about, oh man, you know what? Have you thought about the fact that they had this money for Michael Harris, but maybe not that money for Freddie Freeman?
Oh, Joe.
Ooh.
That's something to think about.
They gave Freddie Freeman the same fucking deal like 10 years ago. He's old now. They don't sign old guys.
Right.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know if Braves fans have stopped and thought about that. Maybe it's something to think about. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're totally okay. You're totally over having. You're not having Freddie Freeman. I get it. That's fine. I would look. You give me Matt Olson. I'm happy with Matt Olson.
Yeah, we know.
Me personally,
they offered Freddie Freeman the same as the Dodgers, arguably more.
Oh, well,
so they paid him what the league paid him.
It's tough to say we really know the truth in that situation.
I don't think we do know the truth.
When you zoom out, it's really tough.
People are fired. I mean, we're not going to get the full story.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not trying to take a chunk out of the pocketbook of MH squared. Like, no. Like, get that man his money. Absolutely, bread it up, chicken titties.
That's not agreed upon, correct? Like, that's still just like a figure that's been put out there.
What the fucking 8 for 72?
Yeah,
that's a done deal.
That's agreed upon.
The Michael Harris deal?
Yeah.
I believe that is final public knowledge. I think.
I mean, if the figure's out there, yeah, I mean, I guess like I don't know that that's agreed upon. If we're being 100% honest. Anyway, then is
what are you
that
gonna do? You gonna take my fucking journaling? You're gonna take my credential away if it's not?
Maybe
you're unverified.
I mean, you should be held accountable for spreading misinformation to the people.
I'm just regurgitating.
Maybe it's a suspension.
Oh, whoa, hey, no precedent.
No precedent. Now you have the Dansby Swanson extension rumors. That must be nice to have a shortstop that you really love, right about to go into free agency, and you're just like, hey, I know it's August. I know. Let's just talk anyway. We'll figure this out. And he's like, you know what? I would love to do that. I would love to talk to you guys. And they're like, we would love to talk to you too, Dansby. And interestingly enough, what I saw today was that the benchmark that the Atlanta Braves hope to use in this extension is Xander Bogaerts' contract with the Boston Red Sox. Something like six for 150 with some opt-outs in there. Great contract.
Yeah,
so,
and you know what? It looks like Dansby would probably enjoy his time in Atlanta.
Definitely.
Which is a plus when you think about that, because I don't know that can be said necessarily on the other side. The other example that you've been given the contract.
No, he wants to stay here. It's just a matter of the team. The team just is not doing the thing.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Jared, you're very close to that organization, very close to those players. So I would like to typically believe everything you say when it comes to that. Yeah. I just I don't know that Xander's tea bags are getting dunked the way that they used to in
Right,
Boston.
right.
And that's just from an outsider's perspective, Jared. That's just me.
Sure.
But if you're,
But
Dansby
I think
Swanson,
this Dansby deal gets done before the season ends,
You
or
gotta
before the
look-
postseason.
look at everything around.
It's probably going to be done by the end of the fucking weekend, if we're being honest.
Look at everything around. It might be done before BP today. Look at everything around you. You've got third base locked up, second base locked up, first base locked up. You've got outfield spots locked up. Like, you would round out the entirety of this team, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for a player, and this is where, again, contracts that are signed that have 6, 7, 8 years, you'd love for the players to live out the life of their contract in that organization. That doesn't always happen. We know that. Could be a salary dump situation at some point in time that you don't see coming because for whatever reason, maybe some guys just don't click and the projection falls short. There's a lot of reasons why shit doesn't work out, but there's a lot of reasons why things do as well when you kind of go back and use hindsight and you think, wow, I feel like you always fall on a great core, right? A great core. You always want 3, 4, 5 players, every team would, that you can count on. And I say 3, 4, 5 because it might be 2 or 3 position guys along with a couple arms that you have leading your rotation, or maybe a rotation stalwart and a bullpen stud. Like, so who knows what that makeup looks like? But it's very different here on this roster. It's every one of you sons of bitches is going nowhere for the foreseeable future. Like, your window, when you talk about propping up a window right now, to have this core together for as long as they're going to have them together, your window's as wide as any fucking window in the game.
Yeah,
I don't care what the farm system looks like. Shit.
They're another beast. I wouldn't be so sure about Dansby signing a contract, though, honestly. I mean,
why not?
Just because, I mean, look what happened to Freddie. If they didn't lock up Freddie before the season, I mean, the Braves.
No, it's clear, like I just pointed out to you, they had a lot of money left that they could have given Freddie. They just didn't fucking like him. They just didn't want him.
So you think they like Dansby more than Freddie? If they don't like Freddie,
Buddy, I'm not saying it. The pocketbook's saying it.
they like signing players who are young before free agency. They like.
I don't know
Dansby.
what Freddie did to piss you guys off.
They like
loved
all
his
their-
family. That's what Freddie was guilty of, loving his family.
I love Freddie. I love his family too. I'm gonna blame it on his agent. Dansby Swanson has the same agent.
Does he
Vaughn-
really? He's an
Yes.
Excel guy?
Yes, and have you seen Vaughn Grisham play in his
Mhm.
first 10 games? He can play shortstop.
They're
So
going to
I
have
think-
to find a spot for it. He skip AAA entirely?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the cool players are doing that.
Oh, dude, the coolest player. Vaughn, what a cool name. Am I the only one who thinks that? Vaughn Grisham
No.
is just a fucking sick ass name.
Great name. Great baseball name. But it's not as good as Dansby Swanson. That is a
Really?
great baseball name. I mean,
So do we have so you have Dansby not signing? You don't have you have Dansby foregoing the opportunity to quite literally lock up like
be a part
one
of
of
something.
the greatest, like one of the most. I think when you think about talent, where it's at now, what the projectable talent is like for this core, and the number of players that make up this core, is this not the most sizable core that we've seen in the big leagues in a long time?
I mean, I can't think of anyone else. I know Passan put out that tweet with all the Braves players who are locked up, and then was like, and then they found an old tweet. He tweeted the same thing about the White Sox. They have all their
I was going to
players.
bring up the White Sox comparison. I don't, fair or unfair. If the Braves lock up Dansby Swanson, the Atlanta Braves are accomplishing essentially what the White Sox set out to do 2 years ago.
But have they done that?
I mean, they did at one point.
They got Lubob, they got Eloy, they got
Keuchel. They essentially had their core guys in 2020 locked up for 4 or 5 years, but it just hasn't panned out to a championship. We're going to get to the White Sox too.
But how many would you consider, who would you consider that core for the White Sox at that time? Or how many players?
Tim Anderson, Eloy, Giolito, Keuchel became a part of it.
Lubob,
Abreu, who they kept there, which like I loved. Like that was one of the moves. I forget I don't know if it was Freddie Freeman or it was someone like that. Oh no, I think it was more of like a Trey Mancini comp when it's like, all right, yeah, this new generation is moving in. This guy was part of the old guard, but like should definitely be here as part of the new core that we're trying to win a championship with. So having Jose Abreu there, yeah, like and then bringing in Yasmani Grandal, Yasmani Grandal, I think was their most lucrative contract they had ever given out as an organization. So yeah, they didn't have, like, it wasn't like the Yankees core four where it was a small group of guys that were looked at as the core. Like they kind of like locked in their fucking roster, which is what the Braves are doing right now. Like they're just like, hey,
that's five guys.
You here. We want you here.
5 guys.
What, the White Sox?
Yeah, that's 5 guys, 6 guys.
Moncada. Like it's the whole fucking team. They go around the diamond.
That's what we were doing.
Yeah. First base, catcher, shortstop, third base, DH, 2 outfield spots. Like that's the whole fucking team. And then obviously like Giolito hasn't had a great year this year, but like adding a guy like Lance Lynn and like the White Sox
throw Lance Lynn into the core conversation right now.
No. I'm saying like in terms of like supplementing it.
Well, okay. Well, that's now outside. You're getting outside. You're throwing names in here that are not.
I would say that
names.
Like their core probably consists of like 6 to 7 guys.
Okay.
Like if pitch,
to the Braves,
like if
fucking 10.
Yeah, right. Like that's
Braves.
What
I'm getting at. Like I'm not telling you that the White Sox. That's why I've let you say what you said about the White Sox. I'm not fighting you that the White Sox haven't done.
Yeah.
What they've tried to do. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just simply said, great, good job, Southsiders. It's not what the fucking Atlanta Braves are doing. That's what it's not.
Because the Braves have already won their championship.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about a season beyond that, though. I'm not talking about the championship Atlanta Braves. I'm talking about the Atlanta Braves moving forward from this day forward. Like, fuck the championship. Fuck that was Jared. There's 2 things people don't give a shit about in this game. That's what you did yesterday and last year. Turn the fucking page. I am worried about the future right now. And that is what I'm comparing here to what you've talked about the White Sox doing in the past, trying to do. And I'm telling you right now, we could give you 10 fucking names for the Atlanta Braves that those are core guys going forward.
Yeah. The Atlanta Braves.
That's just different.
The Atlanta Braves aren't looking to lock up a core. They're looking to build a dynasty. Is what they're trying to do.
Fucking a big league roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's ridiculous to think that you're going to have like 8 to 10 guys together for. I mean, at max, what's that window? 8 to 10 guys together for the next 4 years.
Yes, like so some of them. Years. I mean, it's like we're talking like 8 to 10 year deals.
Well, right, like that's what. So, but you're gonna have 8 to 10 players together, no doubt,
for at least the next half
years.
Decade. Yes,
right, and then you're gonna have 6 guys together for the next fucking 8 years.
And you already won a title before completing the process of locking up your core.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got better they're better than last year. I mean, if you look at the team that won it all, now you got Acuna, now you got Strider, now you got Contreras, now you got Michael Harris, now you got Kenley.
Yeah, because you know Spencer Strider is going to be the next one.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Right after he fucking, I don't know, he takes that fucking ROY home. Who knows?
He's taking home. And shout out to Spencer Strider because, dude, I love that fucking guy. Do you remember when he got beat by the Mets and all the Mets thought they were in the World Series like 2 weeks ago, and everyone was like DMing me and calling me a fucking piece of shit and making fun of me and like finding out where I lived and everything. And then Strider was like, "Yeah, the Mets got lucky, and then all the Mets fans like, wham, 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 we don't get lucky. We make contact. And Strider's like, yeah, we'll see what happens in October. And he had that interview and just big bald cement. And then he comes up 5 innings, 1 run, just fucking. That guy's got a big dick, man. I love that guy. I love Strider.
That one is next. So the power of saying that you're back before you're back is a power that's greater than I think most people realize.
Have
Josh
you realized
Donaldson, because I didn't say it, Steve said it, and that's when the Red Sox season went to shit. Josh Donaldson said the Yankees were back. Josh Donaldson said the Yankees were back after 1 game that they should have lost anyway. And then they immediately get trounced by the Blue Jays. And then I tweeted that the White Sox were back because they had the best record in the AL Central over like a month and a half span. They went from a season high, like 6.5 games back going into play. I believe yesterday, the day before, they were a game out. They had a chance to move into a first place tie for the first time since April 20th, I believe. They hadn't been in first place. They got fucking mauled by the Houston Astros. Absolutely decimated.
Oh my God.
Decimated.
It was like, I saw the score, and I don't know why, but I saw the score and then the image in my head, because I don't know why I watch these videos. I come across them a lot, but I had the image of like a fucking huge male lion laying down in the grass. And if you like look closely in the image, you can see this just scared shitless little fucking baby antelope. And then you're like, oh, well, it's not that bad because the lion, because he's licking him. Look, it's cute. He's licking the little guy. And then you realize, you know why he's licking him?
Because
they lick their prey to remove the hair, so it's easier to digest and eat. And you're like, ooh, you know what? On second thought, I know that's not going to end well for that cute little fucking antelope. That's unfortunate. And that was the image that I had in my head, was just watching the fucking
The White Sox are back. Don't lie, they're back. They're back.
Don't lie, they're back.
They're back. The White Sox are back, dude. They got La Russa getting tips from the fans. I mean,
yeah, can we talk about that?
Get Adam Engel out there.
That's great. I mean, that is great. I really would have loved to have seen the entire scene play out. I feel like we saw the majority of the scene, but like, what is Tony doing? Because we've seen images of Tony in the very early portion of ball games where he's sitting and his eyes are not open.
No.
And I don't know if it's just, you know, the shutter speed of the photographer, which is just incredible, catching him at the most inopportune blinking moment. But I feel like he's probably holding that blink for a while. It could have been one of those moments, and Tony's just finally, he hears like, Tony, get Engel. And he's like dreaming. He's like, fuck, oh no, that's happening right now. Shit. All right, yeah, I gotta get I mean, there's no way that was just manipulated by the voice of a fan.
Do you think you think it was coincidence?
Yes, dude. Come on. There's so much selective shit. I mean, Tony La Russa is 100 years old. He can't stay awake in the dugout. He can't drive a car. Well, why do you think he can hear well?
I mean,
the guy's 1,000 years old.
It was a very delayed pinch run situation. And this guy is screaming, get Adam Engel in there. Then he calls time. Like, it wasn't like before the inning started, hey, make sure you put Adam Engel in there. Like, the game was about to go.
Well, that's where, like, again, so if you're in the broadcast booth, you have an image, you have a shot on Tony. And if Tony was standing at the back of the dugout and then had the lineup card in his hand and was slowly working his way up towards the steps and then up the steps, then that would tell me that he's ready to make a move. And we know that. We're watching that as broadcasters because that helps us either buy time or that gives us something to talk about. Like that's something you're watching. So not being able to see it from that perspective, I I still want to believe in my heart of hearts that Tony would be making the right fucking baseball move, but there has been examples where that might not be the case, and it might not be happening with the consistency that it once did.
And that's a good point, Dallas. He's also not that fast. So it takes him a couple steps to get
unless you're Jose Abreu getting drilled. Then he's fast.
Yeah,
then he's lightning fast.
Because he sticks up for his guys.
That's right.
You know? And sometimes
right.
you take a couple of extra seconds to get out there and call time late because it gets the pitcher out of their rhythm.
Yeah.
And you know better than anybody. I mean, come on. Pitching.
You drill a guy on the White Sox, and Tony will show up to your grandchild's elementary school and push them off the monkey bars. Like that will happen. Well, eye for an eye.
No, yeah. Never mind.
I love Tony. I've done a complete 180 on Tony. He's entertainment. It's not my fucking team. Like
I told you. See, it just took Tony and the manager of the year conversation to
no,
really
that made me want to actively root against him. You saying that he was going to win manager of the year made me want him to do bad. But this year, I've been able to appreciate the chaos.
See,
hey, if someone told you before the series started, White Sox split the series, you would have been like, yeah, that's a win.
Sure. Yeah, and they had that big time comeback win against Houston in the 8th inning. But then they just got absolutely throttled by the Houston Astros. Also, I want to give a shout out to my close personal friend, Alex Bregman. His last 20 games, by the way, a lot of people, I think I mentioned this on a podcast a couple of months ago about Astros fans were just all over Bregman. Like they were done with him. They're like, this dude stinks. Get him off the team. What a terrible contract. We need to move on. July 26th, Alex Bregman was hitting .238 with a 756 OPS. His last 20 games, 384, a 459 on base, and a 1226 OPS. He's got 6 homers, including 2 yesterday in that 21-5 ass beating. 10 doubles. 10 doubles. He's only struck out 7 times. Dallas, 85 plate appearances, 7 strikeouts, and 11 walks. Dallas, you know that getting Alex Bregman to swing and miss, one of the most difficult things on the planet for a pitcher to be able to accomplish. Only a handful of guys have been able to do it. So I just want to give a shout out to Bregman, who has, I don't want to say he turned his season around, but he's certainly gotten hot. And you know what the correlation there is?
Things around, Jared. Speaking of turning things around, what I have seen Alex Bregman do, I'm talking, when I say up close and personal, I mean literal, I don't even know if feet. Yeah, feet. I was feet away. I was behind you. But I've watched Alex Bregman take a wiffle ball and hit it approximately 364 feet out beyond a parking lot into free park. They don't even charge people to park in the area that he hit this wiffle ball. Like if you're willing to park your car there and walk, we're not even going to charge you. Fuck it. We'll actually send a golf cart out there for you, you poor bastards. That's how far he hit this fucking wiffle ball. So I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. So the tear that you're talking about Alex Bregman going on right now, I have bore witness to really the inception of such a tear. I've tasted the shards of plastic as the ball hurtled through the atmosphere, breaking all sorts of barriers. So yeah, I've seen it.
I threw a fastball by him, Joe. Got a swing and a miss. Which doesn't happen a lot. He does not swing and miss hardly ever.
The Astros, I believe, strike out the least in baseball.
Yeah, that makes sense. Very
no, it's gotta be
disappointing.
It's gotta be the Mets. It's gotta be the Mets. I mean, come on. They put every ball in play. I mean, come on. Old school ball. It's the best way to play. It's got every fucking smart, every guy in the fucking calculator, every single team wants to hit home runs, hit the ball hard, but the Mets, we put the ball in play. We don't strike out ever. You're fucked. The Mets are so fucked. They don't hit enough home runs, dude. They don't have good pitching.
They don't have good pitching?
No, they're awful.
Interesting. That's
7
an
runs
interesting
and
take.
if your starter's coming out giving out 7 runs, you're 1-2. DeGrom,
Mhm.
come on.
Mhm.
Scherzer,
Mhm.
Edwin Diaz, pretty good.
We got breaking news, though.
What's breaking news?
We got a new sponsor. A late season call-up. A late season call-up, if you will. CBDmd, the leaders in hemp-based CBD and Delta-9 THC products. These guys have everything that you could possibly need to straight up feel better. And their latest breakthrough is Delta-9 THC. These sneaky innovators found a way to get these Delta-9 THC products shipped directly to your door. Now, some restrictions may apply because, of course, they do. So check your local laws before purchasing. But I'm telling you, this stuff is the real deal. They've got gummies packed with 10 milligrams of THC, perfect for winding down and watching the Sox blow yet another lead to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Dallas? Tell them 10 milligrams sound like a lot. Well, CBDmd has you covered with their microdose soft gels with just 1 milligram of THC. These little guys pack a punch that's perfect for all-day support whenever and wherever you need it the most. Don't get all caught up in the technicalities. This is the same THC that you've come to know and love over the years, just extracted from hemp. They were kind enough to send me a beautiful little care package. That's actually not little at all. It was a big care package. So I've got quite the supply going on. And it has been life-changing for me, especially someone who is big-time anxiety at night guy. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not because of Delta-9. And to learn more about Delta-9 and everything else CBDmd has to offer, just head to CBDmd.com. Once again, that is CBDmd.com for information, education, and the best damn gummies that you've ever had. Must be 21 years or older to purchase Delta-9. My $10,000 bet on the Guardians is looking pretty good right now.
Is it though?
Yep, the Cleveland. Oh, shut up. The Cleveland Guardians are in first place in the AL Central. They have a 1-game lead over the Minnesota Twins, 2.5-game lead over the Chicago White Sox. I saw this tweet. What was this? Yesterday? No, a couple days ago. I'm sorry, I do not know how to pronounce this guy's name. Dejan Kovacic. Definitely not an American name that I'm familiar with. Anyways. He writes for some Pittsburgh news outlet. In Cleveland, he says, they're in first place with a $65 million payroll, the youngest roster in the majors, and, just for fun, 9 top 100 prospects still in their system. It ain't all about money. You need people who want to win and know how to do it. Which is interesting. And he quote tweeted a video of Josh Naylor going nuts. He was he fucking slid into third base head first and was just screaming and doing the John Cena "you can't see me" in every direction. He was doing it at his own dugout. He was doing it at the Tigers dugout. He's doing it to the players on the field. He did it to the umpire. I'm like, I don't know what you're so fired up about playing.
I'll tell you what he is. He went first to third on a single.
I mean,
it wasn't even like he hit a walk-off.
I love that shit.
He said,
so you know what? That right there, but hey, you guys are laughing. That embodies everything that writer is saying. If he's that pumped up from going first to third, he understands the value in what he just did. He's fucking pumped because of the opportunity he just provided his teammate with. Because his teammate's going to get it done. Knock, run, we're winning baseball games. This is fun. So that speaks to the culture that he says the Cleveland Guardians, are trying to create. I'm here for it.
There's a different level. He can't contain himself. He just can't. That's not. There's nothing. That's not like. That's just you're born with that. Just psycho.
I don't want to say he put himself on the map with that homer that he hit and then got back into the dugout and he was screaming and throwing his helmet everywhere.
Spiked his helmet.
I think that was maybe the first time that we noticed that he's a fiery guy and that we would come to learn that this is not an isolated incident with him. Like when he does well, you're going to see and hear about it directly from him, which is great.
He's a maniac. Love it.
Spark plug.
I am you guys fucking like fast.
Let me ask you guys this though. All right, with the Cleveland Guardians, where they're at, just kind of a
first place,
just kind of a temperature taker question. With the wild card expansion and the 162, have you lost? Well, Jared, I'm sure you've lost interest in the season. But have you?
I haven't lost interest in the season.
Have you lost interest?
Why would I have lost interest in the season, Dallas?
Well, we were having a wild card postseason conversation.
The Red Sox are 5 games back of a wild card spot.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I mean, they're borderline mathematically eliminated because of all the teams in front of them. But
yeah, they'll be there for sure. No, I mean, negative run differential. You're talking about that's for sure. So you've probably lost interest in the season a while ago, but the postseason picture, because it is as wide, you're a great example, Jared. A team who probably has no shot whatsoever, but still filled with a glimmer of hope that that's not true. So it's clearly worked. Uncle Manfred's expansion has clearly worked. I'm asking, has the regular season felt at any point watered down because of this? Like, Jared,
no.
if you were a competitor, like if you were somebody who valued competition and weren't constantly looking for a way to out-edge your opponent, would you be okay with making the postseason with the season the way it's gone? If you were the Boston Red Sox, let's say you weren't even a 500 team. I don't know that that's mathematically possible with, like you said, the teams ahead of you, but would that be something you'd be okay with?
No, not if they were below 500, but I don't think that's like I don't think that's even like a possibility.
Not this year. I mean, it very well, like, because wasn't that the discussion though? Are we going to see teams that aren't even 500 teams? Are we going to see that in the postseason? Like,
no.
Yeah, didn't we almost see that with expanded playoffs in 2020?
Yeah, but it was like 14 teams got in. It's 12 right now.
Yeah, it's 12.
Yeah. I don't. Would I want my team to make the playoffs if they had a losing record? No. Like, you're not.
Oh yeah, I would.
Nah, I can't get into that. Like, I don't. Maybe
So
it's because I'm spoiled, but I don't. If my team, if I feel like we don't have a shot to win a World Series, then it's kind of hard to get up for that. Like, I remember when I was in New York, and
but hold on. Let me stop you there for a minute. Just if I'm going to be honest, don't let this get your head any bigger than it needs to be, because frankly, you've had nothing to do with the run. But you've experienced recent success with your franchise. Let's put the hat on of the Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
Let's put the hat on of the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, if you're the Orioles, fuck yeah, I don't care what the record is. Like, let's get in and try to instead of playing spoiler in September, like we're gonna try and knock some teams out or fuck with the standings. It's like, let's play spoiler and just get in the playoffs. Like, that would fuck with some people.
So then are we finding out that maybe how we felt about the expanded playoffs and the 162 game schedule and feeling like one of those was going to take a hit? Or are we finding out that that's not the case?
I didn't think it was that. I think adding one more wild card team, I didn't have like 14 teams is too many, but 12, like adding that one extra wild card spot, before we saw the season play out, I didn't feel like it was going to fuck with anything. Because you also have to, like, I like the idea of incentivizing, having the best record in the league. It's like, yeah, feed me that fucking random ass like wild card team. Who cares?
Well, no, yeah, it matters because I mean, the best wild card team, like if you got the best record, that's going to help you out.
Right. There's more, because I remember back in like 2004 when the Red Sox won that year, like there was really no difference between winning the wild card and winning the division. Because they also had the rule that you couldn't play if you won the wild card and the team with the best record was in your division, you couldn't play each other in the division series. So the Red Sox won the wild card and got fed the Angels, and it was like, yeah, sure, we'll take it. Like, I'll take that instead of playing the fucking Yankees in a best of 5, whatever. That's great. So yeah, like they're actually making it so that the better you perform during the regular season, the better your odds are in the playoffs. Like, I like that.
Yeah, I think that it's interesting to see the season play out, because I was someone who felt like there was going to be a bit of a watering down. And obviously I have, financial ties to my reasoning behind that and player compensation.
Yeah, it's not like they got the A's getting in there.
Picture looks like. Yeah. Not me personally, the financial ties. I meant my belief in player compensation and teams not needing to pay players because now they're in the wild card picture, and that might not have been the case before the expansion. So that means they don't have to pay anybody to get into the spot they're now in, and it's, just kind of loosening things up a little. But in the interest of the game, I love that the Baltimore Oriole fan base is as excited about baseball right now at the end of August, ready to turn the calendar as they are. That's really cool. And they're a team that has a decent, right? Their farm system is looking pretty good, right?
Oh, but that goes to your point. I mean, they're the Class A example of a team that of not paying players knowing they can get into the wild card. Them and the Guardians, who have like the shittiest payrolls and are in the chase right now.
Well, and I think it's probably a little easier for Baltimore to operate that way when you've got a team like the New York Yankees in your division, and you've also got a team like the Boston Red Sox in their division who are willing to spend over $200 million to come in last place. Like that's something that for them, they say, if they're willing to do that and we can clearly beat them, well, then why would we need to open up the pocketbook and do what these other teams are doing?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What do we got next? Is that all for the wild card talk?
Fernando Tatis Jr. met with Preller. I don't know how that went, but he met with AJ Preller on Thursday, and it's the first time that they had spoken since the PED suspension was handed down. He still has not addressed his teammates, but Jurickson Profar was pretty outspoken about defending Tatis, which was something that we were not familiar with prior to that. Like, he got a lot of flack, and we went over this the last episode. We had the audio from Joe Musgrove and Clev and Machado. But Profar said, I'm talking to him every day and he's feeling very bad. Everyone is talking bad, but that's how it is in the world. You make one mistake and everyone wants to crucify you, but not me. I'm there to support him and get him through this and get him back on the field whenever he's eligible to come back. He's not hurt. You're not like helping to rehab him. He's suspended, and it's not a mistake. He made a choice to take steroids. So like, I get it. You're going to have your boys back, whatever. It is what it is. But like, it's not a mistake. He made a choice.
Well, a lot of people saying it's a mistake. Pedro,
it was a mistake.
A lot of Red Sox are saying it's a mistake. And it was an accident.
We talked about that last night on the pod. Like Pedro said some shit that was like, he kind of said he took both sides.
Bro,
he was saying,
I you know how much I love you, and you know how much respect I have for the players who have played this game. And you know that to me, it doesn't matter if you've had one at bat, if you've gotten one inning, or if you're a fucking Hall of Famer. You know how I respect guys that play this game. That being said, that was fucking painful to watch from Pedro. It was painful. I understand where he's coming from. I understand why. And I laid that out when I talked about David Ortiz, right? Like the countryman, like you want things to be better for the guys who are coming up than they were for you. And if you've ever experienced anything that you might be able to pass along to help things along for somebody else, you want to do that. You want to have that impact. Well, unfortunately, Poppy dealt with shit like this. And there's other people around him who have dealt with shit like this, who are trying to help him and trying to give their best advice, which I don't think you could ever knock a guy for trying to do that. You might feel like, I don't think that's where it needs to be coming from. Look, if somebody's made a mistake that I've just made, that's probably who I would like to hear from first, whether it's going to be good or bad or indifferent. Somebody who's been there, fucking come on, man, help me out. What do you got? What's coming? So I get that. But to watch a man of Pedro's status say what he said about the need to man, look, he said what he said. We heard what he said. It was just a bad look for me. Just a bad look. And I feel bad that they're scrambling to defend him. I know where it's coming from, because you don't want to see a kid like this go through this shit, especially when you know what his future looks like. Because that's been written in the stars, right? The future, like via the 14-year deal, the $300+ million deal. That's what I mean by written in the stars. Like, it's a done deal. He's going to be a star. And now they understand that some of that shine on that star is starting to dull out. And they don't want to see that happen. Because it's at the beginning.
When you get Fernando Tatis Jr. back. Now that's not going to happen. 80-game suspension, PED violation. Clostebol is the PED in question. It's on the list. He said he was taking it for, or using it for a ringworm irritation on his skin. He will not appeal. If you were sitting, Pedro, with Fernando Tatis Jr. face to face right here, your message to him is?
You have no excuses. I'm extremely disappointed at you because you know how to read. You know the program, you know the protocol, you know what to do, you know how to read in English, you know how to read in Spanish, you're educated, you have a big league father that knows the protocol, you have all the reasons in the world to be blamed for what's happening to you. Now, since you were a young teenager, you have been a little bit of a kind of cocky, kind of teenager. You don't want to listen much to dad, you don't want to listen much to mom. You don't want to listen much to the guys advising you, even though you're rich in abilities, even though you're that human freak out there, that excellent athlete that you are. Sometimes it's going to cost you if you don't listen. And sometimes it takes for people like him to stumble a little bit to then understand what they need to do. And this is a prime example. For Fernando Tatis, I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to say that is not a fault when I know he knew what to do. The fact that he probably from a medical perspective knew what he was doing and knew what kind of consequences it would probably bring back to him, I'm going to have to give him a pass on that one because he's young. And like we say, young and dumb. I'm not calling him dumb. I'm just saying young and dumb because of the age, because of the kind of process that he has going on right now with him. Superstar. Probably.
So, I mean, Pedro,
So
that's completely different from
reaction.
Yes.
So I didn't know that he said any of that. I don't know when that was said. But yeah, that is different. That is not the statement that I was referencing.
Yeah.
That is not the statement that I was referring to. What I was referring to was his statement on MLB Network. Is that where he was?
This looks like it was.
That was with Fox because that's Ernie.
Yeah.
Like so that's
well,
different.
isn't he basically saying that, like, okay, he's fucked up because he took this stuff by and he knew that, or whatever, he should have read the label, but he didn't try to cheat. That's what he's saying. Is there any possibility that's true from your perspective? Do you believe that?
That he read, I mean, like Joey, the only way that I could respond to that is I don't know what that label said. I would have to see the label. And again, I'm not a scientist. This is just me thinking antifungal cream is probably what I would be going after. if I had a fungus, like a skin irritation, and if it's bad, they have, steroids, topical steroid creams that you could do that. Like, is an anabolic property a part of the fuck, man? I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist, for Christ's sake. I have no clue, no idea. But the idea, I would like to address, and Jared, let me ask you, just so I know that I'm not crazy here. That statement from Pedro, the one that we just listened to, very different from his initial statement.
Correct.
Very different, because initially it was a strong defense of Tatis, and it was we got to put this on the team because the team can't, the team's got to be taking care of him. And so he is, I don't want to say singing a very different tune, but the
quote was, since he got hurt, San Diego has been on top of him. And this is where I have to give him a pass because San Diego should have known what this kid was putting in his body. That was that quote that you're referencing was from that same clip. It's just that they only he got on Tatis pretty, sternly. But the quote that you saw was just maybe 3 seconds of that 2-minute clip.
Oh yeah. See that like hearing that, I thought those were, I thought the clip, him talking about him not being, or the Padres needing to watch him or blah, blah, blah. I thought that was a completely different segment than
same thing.
The clip.
Yeah, same segment.
Okay. Yeah. So like hearing that whole thing. Yeah. Like that's a very different things. So Pedro, at the end of all of that, hearing all of that, that statement is, there's really no other way to put what he said. I mean, that covers it all.
Yeah.
He also said later in that he said, I think 99% of players from the Dominican who get tested positive for things, didn't know they were taking it. Whether someone gave it to them, they just took it.
And that's another thing. Look, the whole scouting Buscone situation, those players go through a lot of different shit just to get stateside that people really don't understand. And that's not getting to the big leagues. That's getting stateside to be able to play pro baseball. You want to know what life is like when you're playing pro baseball in Florida, in Arizona, and those amenities, as opposed to what you have maybe at your Dominican complex, which are getting better all the years, but still a huge gap between what you get when you're there and what you get when you're in America. And there's people that are invested, quote unquote, in those young careers. And buddy, they're willing to roll the dice on you and tell you that everything's all good, and maybe not tell you, maybe not do the due diligence, because at the end of the day, it's not their career. You would be a lottery ticket to them. So if you're telling me I could scratch this lottery ticket, realize I didn't win, and then fucking cover some dust up and put it back on and then not use it, not have to, then yeah. And that's basically what that's like doing, is I'll give it to them and see what happens. And if they don't get popped, great. If they do, we'll fucking hang with them, because there's other kids that want to do the same thing. So there's a lot of different hurdles these dudes got to clear. So I can understand that sentiment because it's real. But he being Pedro, laid out that when your father is who he is and has the pedigree that he has and understands the protocol, and you are who you are, the protocol has been in place and you know what needs to be done here. This is not a mistake. This is a choice, and you made a bad choice.
Not great.
Is it already too late? Like Fernando Tatis, is he in baseball purgatory?
No, dude. He's like 23.
Like how long does it take for because this is one of the rare things that we're going to see. Maybe one of the things we're going to see for the first time in baseball is a young star locked up for over a decade encountering this really at the forefront of their career, at the beginning of their career. Because it's not like he's on the way out and, what happens in the next year or two with him. No, we know where he's going to be for the next 14 fucking seasons.
Bro, when he wins the MVP in like 2025, like I don't think people are going to be talking about this very much.
Definitely are.
Some people, but do you think that's going to be like the big thing? Like,
yes,
that's my question.
I hope he loses. He's a cheater.
Well, that's my question: is how long does it take, and what are fans going to need to see? What are potential Hall of Fame voters going to need to see if his career should project that way? I mean, he's got a lot of ground to make up, if we're being honest.
People are always going to say like he cheated in the past, but now it's like I feel like no one's going to think he's cheating now after he comes back from this. I guess some people will, but I just can't see that being the dominant thing. Like I think they're going to tweet his highlights and it's going to be sick and this guy's great for the game. It's going to be that shit. It's going to be back after give him some time, couple years, even next year. If he fucking wins the World Series next year, you think he's not going to be the face of the Padres?
No, he will be, but people will still say all the cheater stuff for sure. Like that follows you forever, no matter what. Like that,
well,
I guess.
Like this, they're already switching up dates. You know, Fernando Tatis bobblehead dates done. Those are now Juan Soto giveaways.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's that transition away from him being the focal point is already happened, and whether that's because he's not going to be playing any baseball for the rest of the year. Dallas, why wouldn't they shift? Well, clearly they would. But that doesn't mean that shit's just going to pick up right where it left off next year. Or does it? Or does it? Or are we back to the Mike Golick Jr. tweet where you weather the PR storm, you keep your head down, and eventually it all goes away because the homers and the web gyms, they all help you forget about it.
Baseball fans don't forget. They just don't. Like, George Springer is still getting booed as a member of the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's fine. Remember what I said last podcast, though?
What?
For every boo hurled George Springer's way, there's a retweet of Bartolo Colon hitting a fucking homer.
Sure.
In San Diego.
I mean, Nelson Cruz, another guy. No one ever talks about Nelson Cruz.
I would say it's not even close. I think like in terms of legacy, I think the Astros, people care more and their legacy or whatever people perception of them is going to be more tarnished than Tatis.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that there is a logical baseball fan out there that if asked, hey, do you think Tatis was juicing the whole time? No. Like, I think it was like, if we were able to find out for sure, would it shock you if the answer was that was the first time he's ever taken PEDs?
No.
I think that there is a very large percentage chance that was the first time that he's ever actually taken PEDs.
We just don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's been taking them either. I wouldn't be surprised if like everyone's taken these things, honestly. I mean, I don't know anything about it.
I want to believe, like I said, I want to believe that this was something that he realized, you know what? Fuck the arm up. How do we get this back? How do we do better right now? How can I help myself? And that's a decision I'm making. I'm doing that. And that was the first time that he followed through with and committed to making that decision. Because I don't want to say it feels like that they were ready to defend should they have gotten caught or gotten put into this spot. But the ringworm excuse was almost like readily available, like it was right there on deck, like, oh, this is what happened. And then they got hammered for that. And yeah, I mean, dude.
But that's another thing with that segment. I watched that whole segment where like they don't even address like, well, did he take it by accident or not? And is there any proof? And you can say ringworm. I think we need more details. And I feel like you can go into it and kind of prove or disprove how likely that is. That I don't think people are really talking about as much as they should because it's so complicated.
I mean, it's as provable as show me what you took, and is that on the bottle? And if it's not, you know that you are still responsible for having it tested if you're going to use it.
Yeah.
Like that's part of the protocol. So if it's not on the bottle and you're still unsure, you got to get it tested. That's what you got to do.
That's also a classic way to get around it is like if you're taking something like, I don't know if you probably had ringworm in some degree, or you wouldn't just completely make that up. But if like, you know, you have ringworm and you know you're taking X and there's medication that has that in ringworm medication, you're going to take the ringworm medication as plausible deniability and say that's why.
But that's the argument that we've always had as baseball players or as athletes is if there's things that can get me better, why am I not allowed to take them? Because I'm going to fail a drug test? I'm not taking this to get, I'm not taking this to up my squat by 150 pounds. I'm not doing that. I've got fucking ringworm and I need it given to me in this small dose or whatever it is. Like, but Joey, that's part of when we say protocol, that is part of the protocol. Oh,
protocol.
You pick this up at the store, you read the back of it, you're unsure, you send in a sample, you have your sample tested, and blah, blah. There's a whole fucking process, and it's a grind, yes, but there's a number you can call, and you fucking ask questions, and you get answers. And it's because, as archaic as it might sound, it's like, really? Like, we've got all this technology, and you got these motherfuckers in the store looking at the back of a bottle, calling a hotline, trying to, and the response to that would be, well, yeah, because if you don't do that, you run the risk of losing out on millions of dollars, potential millions more in endorsements, and who knows what kind of backlash you're going to have to deal with publicly if that's something you care about.
So would you have to send it to them and they would test this shit, or they would just tell them yes or no?
You send it to a place that's NSF certified.
And then they test it?
And they test it.
To make sure it doesn't have like trace amounts or it could be tainted or something.
Correct. And if you send it in and it does have trace amounts, they tell you, don't take this shit. Because it could. And that's the other thing is you have to know what you're currently taking. Because if you take something that mixes with another something that could create a compound, well, now you're in trouble. And it's like, well, I didn't fucking take that. And it's like, no, but what you did take is this, and what you did take is this. And what it does is together creates a precursor to an anabolic steroid. You can't take that. And you are responsible for that.
But then
we are giving you the resources to double and triple check your shit.
Well, so if you have ringworm though, and it should, I mean, to test it, that takes like probably a month. That takes a while.
But that's why you could go and get a topical cream for ringworm and be fairly confident that you're not going to get popped for an anabolic steroid.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you go to your fucking pharmacist right now, Joe, and you're like, hey, you see this ring right here? No, not that ring, but the ring on the outside of my butt cheek. That one right there, that ring shouldn't be there. Do you have anything for it? Looks like a ringworm. So if you walked in and you had ringworm on your ass, they're not going to give you something where you're going to fail a drug test for anabolic steroids.
Bro, I'm never getting a haircut again. How does that even... How the fuck do you get ringworm from a haircut?
I don't know.
Does that just happen? I mean,
I'm never getting it.
If you don't clean the clippers, man.
Someone find his barber, dude. That's who we need to interview.
That's the thing. Dirty clippers. Like, are you not using barbicide, bro? Do you even barbicide?
Yeah, that guy is in some hot water right now when he saw that excuse.
No, that's the thing, Joe, is apparently nothing he uses has seen hot water at all.
His business is fucked, man.
Yeah, that is not
that guy.
You want to talk about taking a marketing hit? Who's the last guy you gave a haircut to? Fernando Tatis Jr. Yeah. You got anybody else?
He has sick hair though. I mean, he's got that going for him. He has a sick haircut and he has cool ass hair, and that's why everyone loves Tatis. Unfortunately for him, people don't like him as much anymore.
I still like him.
I like him too.
Time.
His dad's saying that millions of people are going to stop watching baseball because of this. Jesus Christ.
And his
Come
dad
on,
did
Dad.
steroids, right? Like at least allegedly. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he tested positive, but he's on a list.
He's got to be on a list somewhere. Yeah, I think like I don't know, who are these people? Like it's not like in the NBA there are fans of just players. Like there are fans that just follow wherever LeBron's playing. And if LeBron got suspended for 80 games, you can make the case that a lot of people wouldn't watch basketball. But in baseball, like yes, there are, like I would consider myself a fan of Fernando Tatis Jr. But am I going to stop watching? Like, yes, it's my job. So take that out of it. Say I have a 9 to 5. Am I going to stop watching baseball as a Red Sox fan because Tatis got suspended? No. If I'm a Padres fan and I love Fernando Tatis Jr., am I going to stop watching the Padres because he got suspended?
No.
No, because now you're saying that there's going to be a boycott because he's been gone all season.
Yeah.
So like, you're implying that him being suspended for PEDs means that there were people that were not watching all season long and they were going to start watching when he came back. But now that he's not coming back, they're going to stop watching. Like, no, people are not boycotting Major League Baseball because of this.
No. And Rob Manfred's sitting there like, has this guy heard of the blackouts I've got in place? Like, come on. He thinks his kid's not going to let people watch baseball.
I think we need another Shohei Ohtani rule that says, because man, imagine if this was Shohei, because I would cry my eyes out, man. And like
if this dude, the baseball world would be rocked.
Yeah, they need to have a rule though that says like if Shohei Ohtani or maybe put a couple more players, if they test positive, you can just throw the test away and no one knows, no one cares.
Yeah, if there's any sort of orthopedic or muscular injury that could be benefited by the usage of anabolic steroids, here is a list of players that you absolutely need to look the other way on.
There's also, there's no player in baseball that would make fans stop watching if they got suspended for PEDs.
I think Shohei would. I think there's a lot of people who just watch Shohei.
Maybe in Japan, but as far as like American or Canadian like if you're a fan of a team, you're not going to stop watching your team because someone got suspended.
If Shohei got suspended, attendance at the Angels Stadium, you don't think that would be a hit?
Would plummet.
Yeah,
would
I mean, like
the
that's
ratings
because
on TV.
Like, that team sucks.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like the people that follow your team all year. You're not going to stop following your team. Like I'm sure there's probably a ton of people like in Japan that only follow they're not Angels fans, they're Shohei fans, and that exists. But is there a such thing as just a Shohei fan in the United States?
I follow them on Twitter. There's
what?
Yeah, there's a ton of like there's these like people, the Shoheis, they're like wholesomely horny for Shohei. And it's like I don't know who they're like avatars. I don't know what they look like, but they seem kind of like teenage age girls who just love Shohei and like they tweet out clips of him like flipping his hair around, and I love it, dude. And I've fallen in love with him romantically because of these Twitter accounts. They're awesome, and they like the Angels, but they're not. I mean, if Shohei gets traded, they're not going to be like watching Angels games.
If Shohei were to get traded to the A's, they would be A's fans tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they got good takes too about, how usage and how his teammates haven't really helped him win. And that
it's not a tough take. It's just
not going out on a limb there.
Yeah. It's more of an assertion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else?
Yeah, there is. There's some pretty big news.
Yeah, the pretty big news is that baseball and beer go hand in hand. Did you know that?
I did know that. Did you know that Blue Moon started at a baseball field? Did you know that?
Yeah.
You aware of that?
Yeah.
There's not another beverage on the planet more ingrained in the DNA of our great pastime than the moon.
That's true.
Moon me, Jake.
First quarter.
How many? Yeah. What is the moon tonight, Jake?
It's the first quarter.
You said
what
first
the
quarter.
fuck? What does that mean?
It's first quarter moon. You know what that means?
No.
That means it's a waxy Cressy.
I feel like those two things are not the same.
Am I right, Jake?
Yeah, it's like a scientific term for waxy Cressy.
Yeah, that's fact.
Well,
You didn't know that I had that kind of knowledge, did you, Jared? Now you do.
no, I mean, obviously you're a fucking pothead weirdo. I'm sure that you know you're up on your moon talk. Baseball and beer go hand in hand, and Blue Moon is the perfect stadium companion with its bold flavor, bright explosion of color, iconic orange slice ritual, and authentic ballpark roots. In fact, Blue Moon was born in a ballpark first created at the Sandlot Brewery in Denver, Colorado. From the first pitch to extra innings, a Blue Moon guarantees a one-of-a-kind beer experience every single time. Going to be having some Blue Moons this weekend. I'm going to see my pal Coley up in Maine, and I know that they have Blue Moons up in Maine.
Ooh.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. But they're mostly at the ballpark. A lot of people, anyway, people that are tweeting us pictures when you're at your favorite team's ballpark, you're watching your favorite team play some baseball, and you're sucking down some Blue Moons, tweeting us pictures, tagging showing the sponsor some love. We love that for you. We love that for us. We love that for Blue Moon. We appreciate you guys doing that. Any type of Blue Moon ballpark pics, be sure to tag us. Tag Blue Moon. Makes everybody happy.
Blue Moon. You know
From
what?
its refreshing. What?
I'm gonna have to get a moon in me today at the ballpark. Go ahead, continue the read, but I got some knowledge to drop.
Oh, okay. From its refreshing flavor with Valencia orange peel for a subtle sweetness and hints of coriander. Blue Moon Belgian White is one-of-a-kind beer that's made brighter. It's carefully crafted and full-flavored with refreshing notes and a smooth, creamy finish. Why strike out the same old beer when you can get something that's one of a kind? Best served with a signature orange garnish to showcase its beautiful hazy color. A beer this good only comes around once in a Blue Moon, but you can enjoy it all season long. Break out of your same old beer slump. Blue Moon Belgian White is one of a kind every time. And you can get Blue Moon Belgian White delivered to you by visiting get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket to see your delivery options. That is get.bluemoonbeer.com/rocket. Blue Moon, made brighter. Celebrate responsibly. Blue Moon Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado Ale. Did you have something else that you wanted to add, Dallas?
Yes. As an athlete, one of the greatest things you can ever do. No, I am a former athlete, but always an athlete.
Oh, fucking DeRosa.
Oh, no, Jared. That's what I'm getting to. As an athlete,
okay,
Jared,
thank you.
One of the greatest things you can do is represent your country. One of the greatest achievements you could ever have bestowed upon you is being someone that is worthy enough to represent your country on an international competitive level. That is a big fucking deal. Whether it's a player, whether it's a coach, trainer, I don't care if you're the traveling secretary. If you're the one getting folks from A to B and putting asses in seats on that kind of level, that's a huge, huge honor. And Mark DeRosa has been named the manager of the USA team. Former player for the USA team. But that is a huge fucking deal. Congratulations to Mark DeRosa.
Yeah. A lot of people have been speculating for years. I mean, since I want to say since 2019, that's the first time that it was really rumored that DeRosa was a managerial candidate. Anytime that a job had opened up, his name, I mean, he was rumored to be the Mets' next manager a couple of times, both times. When Carlos Beltran got fired, and so I think he's going to make a fantastic manager. I think he's going to enjoy the experience a lot. We should get him on to talk about it. We could do that.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I would.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch DeRosa. Just because I think this is, and I don't think it's crazy to say, but it's a great first step for him into maybe deeper managerial waters.
I don't I think he'd be great at it. We'll ask him.
Yeah.
I'll try and get him for next
he
week.
Wants to do because it's a commitment.
And I don't know that he wants to do that. I mean, he still lives in Georgia. And he flies back and forth to Secaucus. Like when he's in studio, it's like, yeah, they'll put him up at a hotel for like a week or two, and he'll do the MLB Network thing, but then he'll just go home. Like he doesn't live there. He's obviously pretty committed to keeping his roots where they're at. So that would be quite the lifestyle change.
Yeah, well, that's why it's a interesting conversation to have, is to see where exactly his heart really does lie, if that's something he would want to venture into. But, if this is something where, I don't know how important continuity is with things like this. If DeRosa, because it happens every 3 years?
I think so, something like that. COVID fucked it up.
Is this a matter of, I know, like, I can't tell you how excited I am for the World Baseball Classic.
We're going.
I love the WBC. I fucking love it.
And am I tripping, or is it like this year's? Seems like everyone wants to play in it now more than ever.
Oh, dude, like everybody. Yeah, man, because I feel like we're getting back to groups of players who are, and if I'm being honest, I feel like this is young guys who do this, but I think we're seeing some older guys come around and they're like, yeah, man, I want to be a part of this. I want to play, because there's a lot of pride that comes with being able to represent your country. And like, it's just something that's fun. Like you have good friends. Like I still have friends that I talk to that I play with in the minor leagues from fucking Venezuela, from Panama, right? From the Dominican, obviously. Like, so you play against guys from other places. You're friends with these guys. You become brothers with these guys. And now you get to strap it on and play against them. And it's just another layer to the brotherhood and another layer to the competition that you have going on stateside, February through October. And now you just get to add a little more to it. That's fucking
You
awesome.
think there's anything going, like, what do you think changed that everyone wants to play in it now?
I don't know that I want to say
that last one set the tone. Like, so dudes, this was, I don't even remember what fucking year it was, but when Team USA won it, that made WBC cool. Like all the people, like there were a bunch of American players that said no, and then saw what that team did with like Stanton and Hosmer and Adam Jones, and they were like, that looks fucking cool. And they probably had a lot of regret about not playing in it, and they're not going to miss it this time around. So we can credit, and like obviously, like
credit the
Dominican
Adam Jones catch.
Yeah, like you can credit like Stanton almost knocking over the fucking Western Metal Supply Company building in San Diego for Team USA, and Adam Jones's ridiculous catch, and like that team, like that was the team that made the WBC cool. So yeah, I think that is Trout going to play?
Yeah.
Because I think he said that at the time, like the WBC was still going on, and he was like, yeah, like next time I'll be there. It's like, well, you could be there right now. You chose not to, but now it's cool.
And Bryce.
Trout's
Bryce
like, fuck it,
there.
man. Like, I don't know when I'm going to get to experience like that kind of energy around baseball,
That's true.
That feels like that's playoff atmosphere type shit. So I don't know that I'm ever going to get that. So yeah, I'm in. WBC, fucking sign me up.
Yeah. It's about damn time.
I feel I could be wrong. I don't know the rosters, but I feel like Dominican and Puerto Rico, the Latin teams, like they all played in it.
In a minute.
Yeah.
And it was the US guys who were like, I want to stay here.
Right.
Because
Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Cuba.
Sense of pride, sense of country. Those two things, whether you like it or not, are thicker. Those roots run deeper in those countries when it comes to, especially specifically, like the pride of representing your country playing baseball, because that's their fucking, it's their sport. This is what they do.
There's a lot of like countries that kind of, I guess, would like to stake their claim as like the baseball country, like Japan.
Yeah,
Japan, Dominican Republic. A lot of good baseball players here in the States.
Is it Japan or is it China? Their national, I think maybe it's China. The national sport is ping pong.
That's Japan. No, China.
It's
Yeah.
China?
Yeah, I think Japan's national sport is baseball.
Yes.
It would have
And
to
the
be.
Dominican, baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The United
Some of
States
the
is
other Latin
obviously
American
football,
countries, soccer, right? Football, the world game.
but
Tell you
Puerto
what,
Rico, it's got to be baseball. Cuba's got to be baseball. No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cuba's baseball for sure.
they would be a fucking problem if they let the players play in that, dude. Cuba.
Oh,
is-
Cuba?
Cuba does. Cuba
No,
plays.
They don't. They can't have the major leaguers can't play it for them.
Well, no, the major leaguers can't, but like
Well, that's what I'm
Cuba
saying. If
plays
they had
in
the major
WBC.
leaguers.
Well, yeah,
Like-
if Cuba would, if Cuba could have the big leaguers, like think about that. Like, just side note, and I mean that's a whole nother conversation. But like, Cuba's always running the risk of guys
defecting
coming
while they're
over
there.
and never
Mhm.
coming back.
Yeah.
So like, if
Yeah.
they were ever, for whatever reason, granted some sort of status where they could play for the team, and then when the team leaves, they get to stay here in the United States, and like I just don't ever see that happening. But I don't know.
Yeah. I would love to see even if it's like completely fictional, it doesn't have to be like a biopic about Yasiel Puig or Roldis Chapman. Like they obviously both have had their legal troubles. So you don't need to like glorify their story, but even if you just fictionalized a baseball player in Cuba coming to the United States and then making it to the big leagues, like I would love to see that in a Hollywood sense.
Well,
There's-
think
I
about what
think
we
that-
know.
There's like a
Yeah.
lot of like baseball fans that don't have a true appreciation for like that entire process and how
Great.
fucking scary it is.
Well,
It is
think
great.
about what we know about the plights of individuals to come over here, right? Like people fucking falling out of boats and saving family members.
Yeah, people
and
die, dude. That's
like,
what happened to like didn't Jose Fernandez like he
his
like fell
mother,
out of the
he
boat
heard
and almost
somebody
like
his
fall
mom
out of a
did.
boat, and it was his mom.
yeah.
and he
Yeah, I mean like you
saved
could
her.
almost like you could take you could make a fictional story but take elements from like all of, like the Puig
Yeah.
story is fucking nuts. Like Jose Abreu ate his goddamn passport. to avoid any sort of like
really,
legal.
like it would be a very like grandiose example or story, but you could definitely put all of those, like that would be an over the top dramatization of what it's really like, all
Yeah.
of the most harrowing aspects
Yeah,
of
it's all
everybody's
true,
story.
but it
it's
just
all
didn't all
true.
happen to one person.
Right. Yeah. But it would really give you a lot, because that's shit that, on the whole, there's probably 5 or 6 major things that you'd be able to pull and just blow people's fucking hair back with, but it's like,
Yeah,
really like 1, maybe 2 of those things does happen to fucking every one of these guys.
yeah. Like you get based on a true story. I don't give a fuck if it's someone's specific story, but if it's based on a true story, based on real events. And I was gonna tweet this the other day about how when I tweeted out the fictional baseball player, the greatest fictional baseball player debate is greater than the greatest real baseball player debate. I was going to piggyback off that and say, like, it's been a while since we've had like a really good baseball movie. Like we haven't had unless you want to nitpick about
movie,
Moneyball.
Trouble with the Curve.
Trouble with the Curve, Moneyball. It's been like over a decade.
No, For Love of the Game was after Moneyball.
What the fuck was For the
And,
Love of the Game?
No, you're talking about Trouble with the
What do you-
Curve.
What did you just say, Jared?
For the Love of the Game, it was like a movie in like the 70s.
What
90s.
are you fucking?
I saw that.
high?
For the Love of the Game,
was in
is that
like
the one about like the
2000?
women's baseball league?
buddy? That's a league of their own.
Oh,
Are
What's
fucking-
the-
You
what's
fucking
for the-
talking shit like because I didn't watch Field of Dreams. You don't know fucking League
you don't,
of
have
Their
you
Own,
never
dude?
seen For Love
that's
of the
not
Game?
even in the same class.
Buddy,
What the
there's
fuck is For
there's
the
a
Love?
new show out. That's a new baseball movie. They got the new League of Their Own coming out.
What's
Well,
For the
it's
Love of the
a-
Game?
A new series. You've never seen For Love of the Game with Kevin
that came
Costner?
out
I saw.
No.
Even I saw it, dude. I've seen that
in
shit.
1999. No, I was busy watching WWF, dude. I didn't have time for that shit.
Dude, it is
For Love of the
sick.
Game came out when?
99. I was 10.
I can't believe you haven't seen that, dude.
That's not in the same class as like Field of Dreams and Major League and
It's underrated.
Bull Durham.
There's
Not-
a
not in the
lot of
same
people
class.
that have listed that as their favorite movie. I mean, there's a heavy
maybe it was because it
love
was the
story
time period.
undertone to it.
Dallas
Maybe
just
that-
likes it because it's a no hitter in it.
I don't think it has a no hitter in it.
Isn't that the fucking whole point of the movie? He throws like a no hitter when he's like 80. He's like 40.
No, he doesn't throw a no hitter.
Oh, okay, no spoilers then. Yeah, is that the fucking point? Am I thinking of a different movie? He goes in and
No,
it's like,
same movie.
I gotta dig
No.
deep.
So that must have been a
hurts.
that's Dallas's line when someone says, "Oh, I remember your no hitter," and he's like, "I never throw a no hitter." So it must have been a perfect game in the movie.
He did throw a perfect game in the movie. You're right, Jared.
You're
He did. Are
playing
you sure
tricks.
you haven't seen this?
You're playing
No.
tricks on me, man.
Never saw it.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a movie. You know what? That's what we need to do, boys. That's what we need to do. Jared, we started talking about, the dock season, off season. Well,
Mhm.
I feel like we're going to need to do a watch party, like a watch along, Field of Dreams, watch along for Love of the Game. I feel like these are things that need to happen.
So this movie's 2 hours and 17 minutes. That's gonna be a no for me. But I think
You're going to watch it. You're going to watch
my
it.
my hot take that I don't even really think is a hot take. No one wants to say this. No one just wants to come out and say this. Baseball movies, for the most part, suck. Like, we don't have like a great baseball movie. Most of them are super
What are you
outdated.
talking about?
They're all like super like drama. It's like it's always gonna be like a love story. And it's
Bull
like fucking
Bull Durham.
Bull Durham's
Bull Durham
great.
is tried and true. There's no
Bull Durham's great. Major League's great. Outside of that, baseball movies for the most part are fucking trash. Like, they don't have a great baseball movie of this generation. Like, once we started getting
what do you want from a fucking baseball movie? A baseball
Bull
movie
Durham
check
is
all
so
of the boxes.
old at this point. Like,
But the
anything
best part about it, though, Jared,
pre-Titanic.
the best part about fucking Bull Durham is it still rings true.
It still holds
Today.
up, but like you
Today
put
it
Bull
still
Durham
holds
on,
up.
and you're like, this movie's old. It's old.
But it's still what it is if you know baseball on that level, if you love baseball on that level, where you're a minor league baseball fan too, like you've gone to minor league baseball games in your hometown, you know what that whole scene looks like. You know what the cleat chasers are. You know what the press box looks like. You know about the shitty in between innings promos that they do, fucking firing shit at the bull. You understand all of that. You get all of that. And that's what that movie brought to light before people really maybe had a grasp on that. And nothing about the lifestyle has changed. That's what's fucking great about it, is it still holds up. You're still riding shitty buses for a fucking 16 hours at a time. Like, that's still what's going on. But to your point about shitty baseball movies, like, there's certain movies that are aiming to achieve certain things, right? Like,
Yeah, it's just,
like The Sandlot. Like, is The Sandlot trying to capture you as this, like, big? It's not a love story.
It's a
love story about
kids
baseball.
movie.
It's a kids baseball.
Like, I
movie,
need
exactly.
like a dark element in my movies. Like, I
Eight
need
Men
like
Out.
the
8 Men Out. You want to talk about fucking
my
dark
God,
elements? You remember?
no.
Oh, is this me answering every fucking problem you have with baseball movies with the movie, but you just don't like them? Maybe the problem is you.
8 Men Out has a dark element. No, I'm talking like someone's got like a fucking
nothing-
drug problem. I need actual real life modernized.
Say it ain't
drug
so,
problem?
Joe. Say it ain't so.
Yeah, I need something that's modern. Like, I need
Have you
like a
seen,
looming threat.
Have
Like,
you
8
seen
Men Out is not it either.
the best baseball documentary movie, whatever, it's a series, is the one Playing for Peanuts, covering Wally Backman when he was managing that minor league team. And that clip of him throwing the bats is from that. Like that, I think
Yeah.
it's on YouTube. I don't know
It's got
how to
a
get the
beer
whole
doc.
thing. That
What,
Yeah,
is-
what
Wally
about
Backman's
the
Put that in your fucking pipe, pipsqueak.
what about the fucking, what is it, the Beautiful Bastards of Baseball, or what is it called?
yeah.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah, you should watch that.
So you're telling
that
me,
a good
Jared,
doc?
that you don't like Fever Pitch? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I like it, but it's whatever.
Jared secretly hates baseball, is what he's just admitted to. He has zero love for any of the entertainment medium that is baseball movie and baseball love.
You dumb.
Give me the balls. Pick that up, you piece. Catcher, get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Wally Backman was great.
The
Is
funniest
that
thing
the-
about
that's-
that, I think he didn't get suspended for that. He didn't get suspended for that. But then one of like the broadcasters on the radio was like talking shit and said that he was like setting a bad example. So he confronted him in the booth. It was like, you
What the
fucking piece
fuck
of
is
shit.
going on?
And he got suspended for that.
That's great.
Put your hands off me.
He never even fucking said anything.
Yeah,
He never said a fucking word to you.
Wally,
Fuck, you got a shit on your fucking shoulder. You got a fucking bullshit.
No.
God damn it, you've had a horse shit zone all day. What'd he say to you? What'd he say? He never even looked at you. He never even fucking looked at you.
You're done, too.
For what? What the fuck did I just say? You motherfucker. What the fuck?
Oh, Wally.
No, this is bullshit. I never said a goddamn word to the guy. You know it. You know it.
Let's go.
You know it.
Let's go.
Poor Wally. He's just
I want to
misunderstood.
know what I said.
I want to know what I
Ask him
said.
I'm going to ask him what I said. In your report. Take your report and shove it up your fucking ass. You fucking. That's some bullshit. You know, the last guy I bumped, I'd have knocked you on your fucking ass. Put that in your fucking report. You little fucking pipsqueak. Fucking joke.
Wally, let's go.
God damn it.
Wally, let's go. Let's go.
I want to know what I said. I'll leave the field when he tells me what he threw me out for.
I mean, Wally Backman would that would be a great Netflix series. Like if they just characterized Wally Backman. I guess like Brockmire was good when it came out. I like
Brockmire was
Brockmire.
great.
They advertised with the old show.
Yeah, Brockmire was great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Brockmire.
I guess what I'm really saying is that I would really love a dark drama about
you.
like about
They
a
should make-
Cuban baseball player defecting from Cuba, all the crazy shit that happens, and then all the crazy shit that follows you. Like getting to the United States and making it to the big leagues is just the
you're not all
beginning.
done.
Like they
You're not all done.
yeah, no, you're not like home free once you get there. So
No, you still got to pay people.
You have to pay a
yeah,
lot.
you got to keep paying people.
Mm-hmm.
Bad people that don't really practice business ethics.
No, but if you wear a suit and tie, you know.
I don't know.
No, it's
I don't know if all of them are wearing suit and ties.
is
Smugglers.
murder frowned upon if you're wearing a suit and tie.
Put that in your report, you fucking pipsqueak.
He really didn't say much. Like I don't. He didn't really say anything.
Jake, we know we got a waxy Cressy, but what's the weather really like outside? Am I gonna have to put a tank top on? We starting to feel a little turn of the leaves.
Yeah, I mean, I'd keep the tank top on because it's 91 degrees, but it feels like 84.
Oh,
33% humidity, wind at 11 miles an hour, UV index 7 out of 10, but it is sunny.
and who are the Red Sox playing tonight?
They're playing the Orioles.
In Baltimore.
So probably a
In
0%
Baltimore.
chance of the children eating free tonight. That's
No,
The
they'll
Red Sox
eat.
are playing good ball right now, you fucking uneducated dick.
September 28th.
Orioles are a postseason hopeful team, Jared.
Yeah, so are the Red Sox, dude.
Well, no, yeah, at the beginning of the year, every team hopes to make the postseason. You're right. So they were.
No, they still are. Don't count the Sox out, Dallas. There's a reason why I'm not being boastful. It's because I have a quiet confidence about my team.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
Don't say it.
Can't wait for it to get said. Oh, it's breaking news. Joseph, it's September 31st, and you know who's back? You know who's... That's the Red Sox. Wow, how fucking brave of you. How fucking brave of you to fire that off with so much meat left on the bone. Can't wait to hear it. We're all holding our breath. Or you could rewind to roughly the third episode where Jared claimed the Red Sox were back.
I never said that.
It was video evidence. But
Since July 29th, 4:07 p.m. after the leadoff over the Red Sox
I
are
never
the
use
best
time.
team.
I never use timestamps.
Yeah, well, that's where we're headed. That's where we are headed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
How are the A's doing?
buddy, the era of opportunity is bountiful right now in Oakland.
Right.
Bountiful. You know how many quality at bats and quality reps our entire roster is getting right now?
43 and
reps?
76.
That's
They're actually the exact opposite record of the Mets.
but since the All-Star break,
Mm-hmm.
where are you
Mets
at?
are 76 and 43. A lot
Where
of
are you
people
at since
saying
the All-Star break?
I'm not looking that up. I don't care.
What are oh no, you don't want to look that up?
No, don't care.
What's the Red Sox record since the All-Star break?
Pretty good.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it as good as the A's record since the All-Star break?
Red Sox still have a 10.7% chance of making the playoffs. The Orioles have a 2.8% chance. So that would meet that would tell you,
crazy. That
Right?
is crazy.
right?
Just a lot of bias going on there. That's all that is. We know.
I mean,
that.
this is
We know
ESPN.
Right. We know that. A lot of
Yeah,
bias. going on
ESPN,
there.
Connecticut is Yankee country. You kidding me?
No, come
Learn
on.
your
there's-
geography, dude. You sound uneducated.
They got
sound
a guy that
You're
calls.
embarrassing
They got a
yourself.
guy that calls games on Sunday night for him. That is a huge Sox honk. Huge Sox honk.
Ravi?
You know him. Oh, come on.
He's coming up with the algorithms. He's doing that. I would lie.
Carl Ravitch is doing the
Carl
playoff odds for ESPN.
Ravi's got the keys to the fucking joint. Come on, don't sleep on Ravi's connects.
No, there's no
He
way.
got today, right? Every single day he has to send in like a number.
Yeah,
I'm feeling
for sure.
10% today. 10.8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's got that pull.
Mm.
Is that all we got?
I think that's all we got. I mean, there's one other thing that I was going to mention, but I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You don't want to talk about it?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. You sure?
All right,
you
I'll
wanna
talk about it. Yeah, I'll talk about it. His name is Spencer Jones. Does that name ring a bell to anybody here?
Nope.
Spencer Jones was the Yankees' first pick, number 25 overall in the MLB draft this year. And I think the Yankees are dicks for picking him. He's an outfielder. And guess what? He's 6'7".
Wow.
And he hits lefty. So now if you're the Yankees and you draft a guy that's 6'7", who's going to be his comp? Aaron Judge. Who is he not going to become? Aaron Judge. You put this guy in an impossible spot. He's a first round pick. He's 6'7". You're the Yankees. You drafted him like an asshole organization.
I feel like you're projecting. I feel like you wouldn't want the competition. Does that sound like that? Sounds
no.
I'm hearing. Like if you were a highly
quite
touted
the
draft pick,
high bar to reach if you're Spencer Jones. I thought it was mean of the Yankees to do that because I mean, if he gets drafted by literally any other organization, I don't think he's getting Aaron Judge comps. But because it's the Yankees and because he's the exact same height and he's an outfielder and he's got some pop, boom. Now, Aaron Judge expectations. That's very unfair to put on Spencer Jones.
I think
That's
he'll
all.
be okay. What are the odds he even gets to the big leagues with the Yankees? Very slim.
Why do you think it's slim?
Am I the only one with faith in Spencer Jones? Have you seen him play? He's a 5-tool player.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen Spencer Jones play. Sorry.
Jake's takes?
Dallas loves to shit on the Red Sox, but he'd kill for a 10.7% chance to make the playoffs.
That's true. That's a good point, Jake. That's a good point. You think that you're busting my balls, but really what you're doing is you're poking the fucking bear over there with Jake. I don't think you realized that at the time.
Well, it's because I didn't realize that Jake was secretly using my headphones as a fucking what do you call those little dolls? The fucking not a Ouija doll, but a fucking the doll that you just fucking stab and what are those things called? Voodoo doll. There you go.
Yeah, dog. Be careful
Yeah.
what you say about
Yeah.
the Sox. They don't play that in Boston, bruh.
It's simple assessments along the way. That's all it is. Like Red Sox fans know if the Oakland A's are nowhere near playoff contention, that I really start to drum up energy and support for the Red Sox should they be in postseason contention. So as it sets right now, they're not. That's all I've said. Those are facts.
What's their record since Jared threw out the first pitch in Sunday Night Baseball at Fenway Park?
3-1. 3-1.
Ooh.
What's the A's record since Jared threw out the first pitch at Fenway Park?
I don't know. Well, shit, probably 3-0, 4-0. We know we're 3-1 as well. What day was that? Here, I can check that.
Sunday.
Damn,
That was
dude.
Sunday.
Jared, you brought back the A's too, man. More
Damn.
impressive than I thought, dog.
Damn, bro.
That is impressive. You brought the
That is
A's
impressive.
back to life.
I'm bringing everybody back.
That is impressive. Sean Murphy's just fucking hammering baseballs, multi-homer game.
Future
Shea
Red
Langeliers
Sox.
showed up.
Future Red Sox, Sean Murphy.
Fucking homer.
Yeah.
So Jared threw out the first pitch. When? Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay, so
Sunday.
we're 2-2.
Dude, you suck.
2-2. Well, 500 ball, bud. It's 500 ball.
Yeah, that's not back. That's you're just kind of there.
No, tonight's victory against the Mariners takes us above that threshold. Totally fine.
And one game closer to the wild card.
That's it. Closing gaps. Just like Aaron Judge's orthodontist.
Oh!
Boom!
I got it. I got that one right away. All right. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend of baseball. Any series that you're looking forward to this weekend, Dallas? Joey, Jake, anybody?
World Series rematch. World Series rematch. Braves won 9 out of 10. Keep going.
Damn. Can't miss the Pirates versus the Reds.
That feature will not have Joey Votto a part of it. Joey Votto season-ending shoulder surgery.
Right.
He'll be back.
We got Braves Astros this weekend.
How are you
cool.
not watching the Toronto Blue Jays New York Yankees series?
Yeah. How are you not watching the Chicago White Sox versus the Cleveland Guardians? This is a big chance for the Chicago White Sox to get into first place. Great pitching matchup tonight. Lance Lynn versus Tristan McKenzie.
Dang.
That'll be a good one.
I'll keep my eye on that.
Yeah.
Who's at home? Who's at home? Who's at home?
Cleveland.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's in Cleveland.
So you probably go McWinsey.
Yeah, that's going to be a good series. I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, White Sox, Guardians, Astros, Braves, Mets, Phillies, another one that I think is worth mentioning. Blue Jays, Yankees, and then the Little League World Series game is this Sunday Night Baseball between the Boston Red Sox, back-to-back Sunday Night Baseballs. A lot of people saying that I propelled them to that spot on the ESPN roster versus the Baltimore Orioles. Very, very exciting. A lot of baseball this weekend that's worth watching. Hope you enjoy it. We'll see you on Monday.
We go.